what's up? It's been a bit between videos, but it's good to be back, and I hope you're ready for a bit of a rant today, because this is going to be a little bit of my opinion, but I think based in a lot of good truth about the world. And so the motivation for this video is actually I woke up this morning to hear my young son singing at the top of his lungs 99 bottles of milk on the wall as a song. And I was like, what is this nonsense? The song obviously is 99 bottles of beer. You can understand why someone would teach a young kid 99 bottles of milk instead of 99 bottles of beer, because you know what? He's not drinking age yet. You don't want to encourage drinking. You don't want to make drinking seem cool. I get that. I'm anti-drug and anti-drinking, especially for young kids, for sure. But you have to admit that fundamentally it is a worse song, right? I mean, just first of all, 99 bottles of beer is alliterative. It works. 99 bottles of milk, that just doesn't flow. On top of which, 99 bottles of beer is a song you should sing drunk with your friends and jovial in that way. So anyway, with, I'm sure, good intentions, they've taken what is a pretty shitty song and made it even shittier, and made it kind of lose its original soul, right? They've eviscerated the soul out of the song and turned it into something different. And I get it, right? I understand for young kids. I'm not saying this is poorly intentioned. I understand, but you have to admit it has made the song objectively worse. If this was as far as it went, I would be fine with it. I would just laugh it off. But this is pervasive. This is happening all over the place. For example, there's another song, though you may have heard that I know an old lady who swallowed a fly. You know, she does all these different things, and at the end, I don't know why she swallowed the fly. Perhaps she'll die. Did you know that they are now singing the song without the perhaps she'll die part? Right? It's now, I don't know why she swallowed the fly. We don't know why, or some other redundant thing that is an awful lyric that is not good writing. And also, it takes away the little bit of spice that the song had, the little bit of irreverent humor the song had, right? And again, I get why they want to say that. They want to, protect the young kids from the phrase "perhaps she'll die." I get it, but the thing is, look, death is a part of life. Kids need to learn about it just as much as adults do. And if we protect them and coddle them for too long, they're not going to be able to handle it as well when they finally get there, right? The sooner we can have our children know about the world and know how things actually work, the better off we're fundamentally probably going to be. And you may say to me, Todd, this is silly, this is irrelevant, you're overreacting. Perhaps you're right, but I'll give you some tangible, actual evidence, okay? We sent my son, very same wonderful son who I love to death, joy of my life. We sent him to a very nice private school that is an amazing school, and I'm very happy we sent him there. However, this school is, because it's so nice, there actually are some problems, in my opinion, because it's so nice, right? For example, after school the kids play, and I watch the kids play because I'm waiting there for my son. And I've never seen this with kids before, and it's actually really kind of sweet and looks good at first. Literally, if the kids are all playing and one kid is sitting out pouting or whining or not participating, these kids are so nice and so well conditioned to be good citizens that they actually stop their play and go check in on their unhappy friend and go say, "What's wrong? How can we help you? Can we get you involved? Do you want to play with us?" And they will literally change this. 5 or 6 people playing a game, they will change their game to something they don't want to play in order to appease and make feel better the whiny kid who's not participating, which is really sweet. It really is. It's genuinely adorable and sweet. However, what does it do? What does it encourage? What are the unintended consequences of this? Well, what does it encourage? It encourages whining. It tells you that if you whine, people will pay attention to you. And if you whine, people will go out of their way for you. And if you whine, that is how you get your way. And I see the kids doing this with their parents, right? The kids are very sweet, they're very smart, they're very well educated. I'm glad in a lot of ways my son went there. But legitimately, honestly, these kids were the whiniest little bunch, right? They were so fast to melt down and so fast to burst into tears and so fast to run to their teachers or their parents with, "Oh my God, she said this mean thing to me," or "he looked at me in a funny way," instead of solving their own damn problems and learning social skills and standing on their own 2 feet and realizing there is adversity in life. Not everybody is always going to be nice to you. Not everybody is always going to treat you with respect. Not everybody is always going to make you the center of their universe. And that's the big thing, right? These kids are being deeply, deeply coddled, and I don't think it's serving them well in the long run. I'm going to make the argument that changing nursery rhymes and changing fairy tales, while it may seem insignificant, is actually deeply, deeply problematic and dangerous. You see, these stories exist for a reason. These are stories that have been passed down in our civilization for hundreds or thousands of years. And the reason these stories exist, the reason these stories are the bedrock, the foundation of the narrative of our civilization, is that the societies that had these stories, that taught these lessons, their children grew up to be stronger, wiser, more capable of dealing with the world. You see, fairy tales are morality tales. They are telling children this is right, this is wrong. They're telling children that if you do this dumb thing, there is a consequence to it and it will mess up your life. And these have been being modified for a long time as well. If you look back at the original Grimm's fairy tales, those tales are fucking scary. People die in those fairy tales. Bad things happen to people in those fairy tales. You look at the modern day fairy tales, it's always a happy ending. Everything always turns out okay, and that's not how the real world is. If we teach our kids this, it is actually problematic. I want to give you kind of an interesting philosophical principle to live by to kind of end this video off. There's this principle, it's called Chesterton's fence. And the idea of Chesterton's fence, I won't go into too much detail on it, is basically that if there's a fence out somewhere and it seems convenient to you to tear it down, you should think very strongly about tearing it down, especially if you don't understand its purpose. If there's a purposeless fence out there, they would argue you shouldn't tear it down until you understand its purpose, because somebody spent some time creating that. Somebody thought it was a good idea. Somebody put some effort into it, so it clearly at one point had a purpose. And if you don't understand that purpose, maybe you shouldn't be destroying it, right? Similarly, these fairy tales, these legends, these myths, the foundational bedrock ideologies of our society, they exist for a reason. They were consciously implemented by people with a reason once upon a time, and they've lasted through evolution and attrition in the strongest and most effective societies for a reason, which is they fucking work. They work. And so unless you have a deep, deep understanding of what you're doing, don't take something that works and change it on a whim. Don't change something that works fundamentally on a deep level and change it because it's kind of nice, or it would be less friction, all right? Adversity is a good thing. I'm gonna say that again. Adversity is a good thing. As long as it doesn't kill you or permanently disfigure you, adversity in your life is a good thing. It is how we grow. It is how we find out about ourselves. It is how we become richer, deeper people, and it's how we learn to deal with future adversity, because there is going to be adversity in our lives. And as I look back at my own life, for example, and I look back at the best stories I have, the things that have formed me and made me who I was, it's not the times when I was handed something or given something or when something came easy. It's the time when I actually had a struggle and I had to overcome it. That is what made me me. Those are the things I'm proudest of about myself, and I strongly recommend we don't rob that experience from our youth. That's it. End of rant.